It is hard to believe, but it has already been 4 weeks since we were signed upon our heads with ashes. For Ash Wednesday was 4 weeks ago today. And on that Ash Wednesday, we heard the clear invitation to turn away from sin and to be faithful to the gospel. And over again, we are gently reminded in our lives during this Lenten season is to ask ourselves, how are things going, and how am I living up to the practices of Lent? The beautiful first reading in today's Mass speaks about Isaiah, uses the image of a child and a parent, and the great love that a child has to one's parent, and the reminder always of how a parent will do anything for a child. In the gospel today, Jesus in many ways embarks upon that same ideal of the great love that the Father has for him, and how the Father has sent him into the world for our redemption. And so often we remind ourselves that God will never abandon any of us, but it's often us in our lives that make that choice to turn away from God. But what does God still do for us? He calls you and I back, as we heard this past Sunday in the story of the prodigal son. He beckons us, he loves us because of the great amount of compassion that he has for each of us because of that love. Today we celebrate the life of St. Patrick. Now I believe that Patrick is one of the best known saints. In fact, this morning, if you put on the television and heard the introduction to today's show, they began by saying Happy St. Patrick's Day. And we realize over and over again that Patrick is a model for us. He had a great love for the people of Ireland. And even though Patrick faced many adversaries, what did he do? He continued in his great desire to lay a foundation of faith for the people of Ireland and to allow them to go on and to spread that faith. And it was because he nourished them like a parent nourishes a child's life, that in many ways Patrick did the same. Patrick is well known because of that fact. But he is a model for us in this Lenten journey. A model for you and I in that great love that we're called to share with those around us. So, my dear friends, as we reach this Wednesday of the 4th week of this Lenten journey, let us in many ways find the encouragement to continue. The glory of the Easter cross is not far from us. Let our eyes be fixed on that and realize that God is always with us. He never abandons us. Let us do the same. Let us never abandon him.